this map, the area on which you take it is much bigger. You know, it's much it's more exposed. It feels like it's more exposed on this map. Is that a true statement?
I don't know if it's any harder. I mean, because you have a high ground advantage going into it. There's a ramp that goes down to the middle ground. I mean, I know it can come around from the side, but I don't know. I wouldn't say it's any harder than Belcher Beach for Zerg. I would say that I don't know. I would say it's quite alright for Zerg to get a third on this, but to get a fourth, that's when the problem comes in. Getting the fourth, do you go down to the low ground immediately in front of your base, or do you go to the one that's vertical up from your natural? I'm not too sure. I mean, because both of them are kind of exposed out into the middle of the map. You know, you have to expand towards your opponent somewhat a little bit, and a Zerg never wants to expand towards their opponent, and it's all going to be about WhiteRA, trying to deny it. Now the thing is, a 3 base Protoss on this map is pretty easy to get to, and it is so strong. So if WhiteRA decides to play that macro style and get on 3 base, he is going to be in a fantastic position. It's all going to be about what JonnyREcco decides to open up, and if he's going to go for any kind of roach pressure early game. That will dictate what WhiteRA decides to do.
Yeah. I mean, a Protoss player on 3 base, that's kind of when, a Protoss player can go for, they can basically access all tick path in, the Protoss arsenal if they have the 3 base. I mean, they can go for the heavy, Colossus count. They can even go for a Mothership if they want to, or, upgrades, all that good stuff. But we'll have to see. WhiteRA chooses once again to go for the Forge before Nexus. It's a safer build. It's a more, build. It's a build that, makes it easier to handle any type of early pressure, and yeah, very similar openings as in as we saw in the previous matches. And here comes the drone for JonnyREcco. Last game, WhiteRA didn't do that good in blocking the expansion. He was able to block it for maybe a second. But no, not this time either. That was very, very clutch by Rico. He got that expansion up very, very...
And that is not easy to do. He was so quick to do that, and he's actually going to catch the probe. Oh my god, WhiteRA losing that probe again in the middle line of JonnyREcco. A little bit of slack play from WhiteRA here. He couldn't block that hatchery for any longer than 3 seconds and lost the probe a couple of seconds after that. And Johnny did actually make 4 lings, which is a little bit of a waste now, because he did actually kill that probe early on, but he is going to use these lings just to scout for any kind of pylon.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, that was very impressive. I mean, just as you said, getting down the hatchery. But yeah, WhiteRA, he is going for the Nexus. No big deal here. I mean, he's walled off nicely here, and once again, I have to give credit to JonnyREcco. He's being so active on the map from minute 1. He really scouts well, uses the Zerglings well. Really keeps tracks on what's on the map. It's very hard to sneak up any pylons, as we have seen in the previous matches. All attempts to sneak up a pylon have been denied, and yeah, I mean, he's playing very well in the early stages when it comes to scouting the map, I have to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Johnny makes full use of them 4 lings, and it really is important for him to do so, because he's already made them. Remember, they could be 2 extra drones at this point. So he has to make full use of them. So what he's done is he's just got 1 on each of the Xelnaga towers, and then just using 2 to kind of sit outside of the natural here, just to see when WhiteRA decides to go for that 3rd base. And but look, a 1 rogue zealot from WhiteRA just making his way out across the map. He's like Rambo at the moment, just going across by himself, wants to do a little pressure and a little bit of scouting, and he's actually going to scout this 3rd. But that is not going to be seeing anything out of the ordinary. This is very standard for Zergs on this map to get this hatchery at this time, so he's just going to move there. He's going to see that WhiteRA is not going to be able to take them lings out, because Johnny's clever than that. He's not going to lose 2 lings randomly to 1 zealot, and 1 stalker comes out on the map as well. So WhiteRA really wants to have this kind of map control a little bit as he adds a 3rd. Now, this is what I was talking about before.
Wow.
If he
Yeah,
can
you
get this
mentioned it
third
actually.
base up early, he is in such a good position because getting a third on this base is much easier. Like I said, because of the way the ramp is, he could get force fields down on that ramp. He can have great placements with these gateways and with cannons behind. This third base is much easier to take than it is on the previous maps that we saw.
Yeah, and I mean JonnyREcco, he really needs to react to this well right now. I think. I mean, he saw the expansion coming up, and what do you think? Do you think Johnny should try to really punish WhiteRA for taking this greedy third base, or should he instead, be going for a, let's say, fourth expansion instead, trying to keep up, stay up one base ahead of WhiteRA at all times?
Well, he does know about it, so you're exactly right. Now, what is going to be his reaction to this? Now, it looks
Yeah.
as if he is just going to stay on 3 base for a while because the awesome Stalker's out, and he isn't going to be able to do all too much to these Stalkers as he doesn't have speed at the moment and there's no rushes out. So these Stalkers are going to have free reign for a little bit. They're going to do a little bit of harassment, and WhiteRA needs to be careful not to lose these 2 Stalkers because speed, it's not too far away. He's going to lose a whole bunch of lings, but WhiteRA might actually lose these Stalkers if he's not careful. No, Johnny does decide to back off, and I think that is the correct decision to back off there with them Stalkers. Doesn't want to lose them, and the same for Johnny. He doesn't want to lose all of these lings for no gain at all. And just look at this, WhiteRA. Okay, he is going into double robotics facility. Now this player,
Wow.
from here on, he can go anywhere, but he is getting all 6 gases. So this tells me that he wants to go for very quick Colossus. But he could also go for just non-stop Immortal production. And he is actually making an Immortal and an Observer at the same time. But I would not be surprised at all to see him go for that Colossus play, because he's got 6 gas right now, going on 3 base. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, and I mean, I have to say once again how great JonnyREcco, the map control that JonnyREcco has right now, the fact that he has all the games right now he has left, he's taking control of the Selnaga towers from start 1, and you can see here he has good vision of the map right now. He knows everything, but still, I mean, WhiteRA is up on the same amount of bases as his Zerg opponent right now, and if I were a Zerg, I would be feeling a little bit worried about this because, I mean, not punishing him and not, getting ahead in economy could turn out very nasty for a Zerg player, and we'll see if JonnyREcco actually goes. There we go. There comes the 4th base. Better late than never, as we say, and yeah, he's gonna be up 1 base unless WhiteRA pushes out and tries to deny it.
Well, interesting thing is, Johnny has scouted the double robotics, and he has responded to this by throwing up a Spire. So he is expecting Colossus right now. He's going to go up and probably try and get out Corruptors. Interesting to see if he goes for Mutas, because Mutas as well, can do a little bit of harassment on this, because look, if he was harassing at the natural, how quick it is to if he harasses at the third, how easy it is to get into the main. But the thing is, WhiteRA rather, is going for Blink Stalkers. So I do feel it is going to be Corruptors, but it could be Mutas, and I'm really interested to see what Johnny's going to make. He's making a bailing nest as well. It is going to be Mutas. Okay, so he is making 10 Mutas right now, and that's probably why, because he knows that he's got this double robotics. He's going for a very heavy robotics army that he's not going to have so much in terms of Stalker count, but he's getting Blink, and he does have a decent amount of Stalkers out right now.
Yeah, and also, I mean, that's very correct, like you said. I think this map really is a nice map when it comes to playing Mutas. And the 4th base are up, and JonnyREcco is also making a 5th. And here we go, a nice force fields there from WhiteRA, traps so many units from JonnyREcco. JonnyREcco does the best he can, snipes down the sentries goes down, but very nice play there, WhiteRA, nice force field. But at the same time, there's a 2-front attack. JonnyREcco goes with the Zerglings on 1 base and the Mutas on another. Nice blink though by WhiteRA. He gets at least 1 of those Mutas, but JonnyREcco, he has done a nice job so far. I think that was he did the best he could out of the situation that became of those nice force feeds.
Yeah, I think the only problem was attacking up that very small ramp. Like, into an entire army where the sentries and like 5 immortals or something isn't the best situation, especially if you've got a very heavy rush army. And look at these force fields, absolutely perfect from WhiteRA, trapping a whole bunch of units in there. WhiteRA is in such a good position right now, and these mutants haven't been able to do all too much. Let's have a quick look at how many workers he killed. He did kill 11 probes, so that was good for him. And of course, immortals can't shoot up, but he has so many stalkers right now. I'm surprised that WhiteRA is actually not blinking under these mutants. But look at the mobile. Look how mobile these mutants are. It might just pick up that forge, and he does, which was upgrading, and he is going to get out of there.
Yeah, and once again, we can really see how good this map is for Mutalisk play. I mean, he's able to go from one base to another in with no problem, and also escape with ease. But this is going to be really hard for JonnyREcco, though. WhiteRA has so many stalkers out right now, and he's making 40 servings right now. But is it going to be enough to do some real damage here and take out this army? Losing a couple of Mutalisks there, and oh my god, so many Banelings out as well. And he has Baneling speed as well.
Yeah, well, this is going to come down to whether or not WhiteRA's force fields are absolutely perfect. He's doing a whole bunch of damage here. He could take out this third if targeted well, but looks like Johnny just kind of wants to swing around and might just kind of jostle for a kind of a counter-attack, or maybe even... yeah, he's just going to go for a straight-up counter-attack. Look at this. His units are just sacking it. That's an interesting decision.
Yeah, and I mean, he was able to kill the probe that made its way to, wanted to, go over and build a pylon in the, area of JonnyREcco, but that was killed, so no reinforcements for WhiteRA. WhiteRA is going to have to do the damage he can with the army he has. And wow, so many Banelings right now in the mineral line, and there we go, so many drones went down as well. And the question is, what army is best at base training? At the moment, I would say WhiteRA has the upper hand.
Yeah, and the problem is that Johnny kind of wasted a whole bunch of Banelings on probes, where he really should have just attacked them with the mutants, because he's going to need them Banelings in attacking the main army from WhiteRA. WhiteRA's army is so much stronger at the moment. I mean, can we have a quick look at the army supply? Look, there you go, guys, 112 to 59, so almost double. And look, the Banelings are going into more probes, and I think Johnny is going to have to tap out pretty soon. Because he just has absolutely no army left, and the army of WhiteRA is so much stronger.
Yeah, I mean, he chose to go for a base trade instead, and it was probably the best thing he could have done on that situation. Taking a battle against this very, very strong army that WhiteRA has would probably have ended in defeat. And I mean, yeah, it was a good choice by Johnny, but. It looks like you say, just like you say, that he doesn't have enough, and there we go. There's the GG.